All right. Hello and welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I'm Karen.
I'm definitively not Tina.
You got a little guest there?
We have a guest to the pod tonight. What's your name?
I want a podcast.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know her name.
Leave it that way.
All right. This is an interesting start to the podcast. Great. Welcome, Lyra. Welcome to the Tina and Karen show.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Okay.
She just left the hatch.
All right. Joining us in Tina's stead tonight is Phyllis. The great and wonderful Phyllis.
Why, hello.
The very sexy and arousing transvestite.
Which is why I'm sharing my screen with you tonight.
No, we're not doing that. I don't post us.
Oh, yeah,
it's
not
all audio. I mean, I have these qualms about putting my face out there on the internet. Don't want to attach my name and face to any opinions I hold.
So weak. So weak.
It's weak, but it's honest. And that's the world we live in these days.
This is a YouTube podcast?
I post a picture of really a silhouette of our faces. It's pretty good. No one's going to be able to grant it. Anyways, we have a great show for you tonight. We have a couple stories we're going to be covering. A man was trapped in his apartment for 28 years. We also have a musician who's trying to create his own Wakanda in Senegal. And a bodybuilder marries his sex doll. This is pretty interesting stuff. But we will start with the headline that gripped me the most. Man who is trapped, this is according to Archie Weekend, which is a publication I've never heard of. A man who was trapped in this apartment for 28 years has finally been freed. That's at least a good news to start it off with. He's free.
Now, did you notice who wrote this article?
Editor.
Again, someone else who doesn't want their face on the internet or their person's known.
I don't know. Maybe this. Once we get to the details of this case, they're going to realize maybe this person was afraid of this woman coming after him. But in Sweden, a 41-year-old victim was rushed to the a 70-year-old mother who may have broken that I'm messing this all up. Sweden is usually thought of as a friendly and welcoming place, but one 70-year-old mother may have broken that stereotype forever. Emergency rescue crews rushed to an apartment in Stockholm, Sweden on Sunday after they received reports that a woman had been keeping her son, now 41, trapped inside the apartment for more than 28 years. The man's condition was so poor that he had open sores all over his body, almost no teeth left, and could barely walk or talk.
Oh, I like that they added almost no teeth left in his head. Does that distinction have to be made? Like, maybe he keeps them in a satchel, or something?
I was more thinking about, you ever seen that one movie with the woman with the teeth in her vag? It's called Bite.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Or something like that. Maybe that's what they're referring to. But either way, 41 years old, kept in an apartment by his 70-year-old mother for 28 years. Sickening thought.
Let's do the age on that. It's 28 minus, 41 minus 28. What year was he?
No need. They actually put this up. Hold up. Later in the story, reports indicate that the mother kept her son as her prisoner after she pulled him out of school as a 12-year-old boy back in 1991. Sources close to the mother claim that she had become very overprotective. That's a bit of an understatement, yeah. Of her beloved son after there was a family incident that scarred her for life. Now,
they don't describe this incident.
I hope. What could drive a woman to actually do something like that? What do you think this family incident entailed?
It's got to be worse than open sores and no teeth left in your head. I mean,
I've been rewatching Game of Thrones. You have ever seen it? You've ever watched the show?
The first season.
Okay.
First season.
Well, you'll understand this reference then, because do you remember the woman from the Vale with her son? Robin. Okay.
Think back 3 years.
I don't know when you saw the show. I've been recently rewatching the show.
Okay.
But there's the
I described this woman with the veil.
The Lysa Arryn. That's one of the main characters' sister, who's I don't know. The Vale. It's one of the kingdoms. And
I do remember this.
Yes, and she had a son named the character's name escapes me at the moment, but this was
it's where they have the sky prison, right?
The sky prison, yeah, the moon door and everything with the exactly. But you know what I'm talking about already because we get introduced to this character with the boy who's probably at least 8, maybe 9 or 10.
Oh, gotta be about 10.
Okay, 10 years old. 10 years old, sucking on the woman's tit.
We saw lots of sucking on tits, but this one was for food.
This one was disturbing. I mean, there's a lot of disturbing content in that show, but this is like what do you think it is about some women that they get this overprotective spirit into them? Like, why could this woman from Sweden justify keeping her son locked up in an apartment for 28 years?
Man, I don't know. She ran out of street waffles.
The biggest question is, how does anyone not notice this? Okay, here's the next paragraph. Neighbors knew that the apartment was not well maintained. The same Advent candle had been in one window for 30 years. How the fuck? Oh, jeez. This is
Well, what's more surprising is that the landlord hadn't walked in on this in 30 years.
How is it amazing that like some people can manage this sort of lifestyle? It astounds me because 28 years, that's the entirety of my life.
What happened to this guy? Like, is he bound and gagged, how does he
must
not
have been,
want to go out of the door?
Like when they described that the man could barely walk or talk. I imagine he was bound. You ever seen Seven?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember Sloth?
Oh my God. Again, 12, 13, 15 years ago, I saw this movie.
These movies have more impact on me than you, apparently. But
I remember the head in the box.
That's what everyone remembers. And spoilers.
Spoilers from a 20-year-old movie? No, thanks.
You can have spoilers. By the way,
I don't think so.
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Oh, yeah? Han Solo's son kills him.
No one cares. No one watched that crap. We can get into that later if you'd like, because I'm a big anti-sequel trilogy kind of guy.
No, it ruined the whole thing.
Well, to be fair, the prequels are pretty bad too.
All 6 of them ruined the whole thing.
Well, like when people think back about the Star Wars movies, they realize there are far more bad Star Wars movies than there are actually good Star Wars movies.
Well, there are now.
Well, there was always.
There were 3 good ones.
Return of the Jedi is suspect. It's decent.
Okay. Let's see, what's the second one?
Empire.
Okay.
That one.
Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It was for a certain audience. I don't know.
Isn't that the one where Darth Vader, like, buys the farm?
What? When he dies?
Which one? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. He has to die. But
I mean, he dies in the third one, right?
Well, there's certain elements of Return of the Jedi that I really enjoy. And as a kid, I didn't notice all the bad parts. But when you get older and you rewatch it, it doesn't hold up as well as the Star Wars or Empire.
Right.
They over-relied. First off, if you look at the whole first act, there's a lot more CG in there than you remember.
Well, hang on. It depends on when you watched the whole thing. Because if you watch they reformatted everything. Like, it came out again a second time in like the year 98 or something like that, and they had CGI'd the whole damn thing.
I know. George Lucas attacks people's childhood. That's what he does.
He
Gets off on it. You know, it's funny to me how I'm seeing all the fans really change their tune on George Lucas. Because a couple
years they loved him, and then
well, I mean, as far as I remember, everyone hates George Lucas. They think he ruined Star Wars. Forget the fact that he created it. They thought the prequels ruined Star Wars' legacy. And now, fast forward to today, after the sequels come out, all of a sudden now you see people saying like the prequels were brilliant and that George Lucas is a master.
Are people saying this? Because I don't think that.
I don't think it either, but there are people who actually genuinely have a soft spot for the prequels now that the sequels have come out.
George Lucas creates a universe that other people write into and things spring out of, and that's brilliant. That a universe was created in that kind of way in our heads. But
a lot of people like to bring up the fact that the best movie, the objectively best movie in the saga, is the one that George Lucas had the least to do with.
Which is
Empire.
The second one.
Empire, yeah, exactly.
Empire, yeah.
Because he didn't direct it or write it. He produced it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he wrote and directed Star Wars, the original, and he wrote Return of the Jedi, but he didn't direct that one. But for Empire, he didn't write it or direct it.
Oh, okay. Did not know.
And so it's funny that people think that that is objectively everyone thinks the best one, and it's the one he had the least to do with. I'll say this about George Lucas. I agree with you on your point. He's great at world building. He's great at story structure, but he has terrible dialogue. He cannot write worth a damn. He writes the most corny dialogue you can ever imagine. It doesn't sound fluid or natural. It's terrible.
I kind of like that about Star Wars, though. I mean, it was corny.
What?
But it was in a way, it was kind of a sweet story, you know.
Well, it's a basic story.
Those prequels though, like, were so boring. I mean, just boring.
I give a little bit of credit to the third one, which I think tells an interesting story.
Yeah. Sure.
Because that's the story everyone wanted to see from the beginning, anyways, is see how Anakin became Darth Vader. And the first two movies were fluff; they didn't mean much.
Well, not just fluff. It's like we had to sit in Alien Congress. I mean, come on, like C-SPAN. Like, you might as well just been like giving us C-SPAN.
They want to talk about tax deals and trade proposals.
All right.
It's pretty good stuff, though.
Blow my brains out when Samuel Jackson walked on screen.
It's world building. Oh, how is it that you have Samuel Jackson on screen, but he doesn't emote at all? He's on there
it's because they dropped Quentin Tarantino as director for that movie.
Oh, I would love to see a Tarantino-directed Star Wars movie. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Hey, have you ever seen The Mandalorian?
I did watch the first couple episodes.
I have not watched it.
Now, see, here's the thing. Like, I got kind of bored again.
That's what I thought.
It's kind of like a shoot 'em up, and then I got bored. But now everyone loves it, and I know why, because I spoiled it for myself.
I spoiled it too. I watched I know what you're talking about. I recently watched a lot of reaction videos to the most recent season finale.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty cool. I like that they do stuff like that. But The Mandalorian, apparently it's the saving grace of Star Wars. Everyone loves The Mandalorian. It's a space western. It's pretty cool stuff, but it's really slow. You have to wait through a lot of...
Maybe the fourth episode or something you have to get through?
I watched.
I got that far.
I watched the first two episodes, and they were just too dry, too boring. Nothing happened. No one talks. The main guy barely talks.
Yeah.
And you don't even get
you can't see his emotions.
Exactly. It's one thing to say that like a guy who doesn't talk, but you could still see his face. We can't see his face. We can't see. He doesn't talk, so it's an emotionless character. But people seem to love it, so good for it.
By the way, I saw one for real in the wild.
A Mandalorian?
Yeah, that was last weekend. I guess I'll give away our location a little bit at Magnuson Park in Seattle. A Mandalorian walked out of a car.
What?
Full suit.
No.
Yeah, but for a photo shoot, apparently.
Oh, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got some shots of it, but they're all grainy, kind of like, Bigfoot.
Oh. Well, once again, giving away our region.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Funny enough that you should bring up Bigfoot. That's the thing I've been trying to get on this show more than anything else. I've been trying to get two things onto our show the last month or so. I want a paranormal investigator, and I want a Bigfoot investigator.
I'd love it.
I would love to be able to talk with a Bigfoot investigator, but it's so far nothing.
I've got to ask you a question. How are you getting anyone on this show?
They're mostly friends. They're mostly friends of friends.
Okay.
I haven't branched out. I need to figure out how I'm going to do that because it needs. Moving on. We got to get back to the Sweden thing. No, we get some interesting. I have some interesting friends like DJs through my wife. I have like people from Venezuela, and I talked with a tax accountant from Amazon. That was decent. Cool. You can talk about him. Everyone hates Amazon, so he had to defend Amazon. I hate him, so he had to defend himself. But no, we got to get back to the story. So Sweden. The man might have...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the man might have remained in his mother's prison until her or his death if it were not for the woman's relative. The relative had long suspected that the elderly woman was controlling her son, but did not know he was a prisoner. This family did not have a single visitor for 28 years because I think you could pretty much tell the difference between this is an overprotective mother and the boy is being held prisoner.
Or no one's asking this. He's not a boy. I mean,
it's 41 years.
Person.
He doesn't even have a mind anymore. I bet.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to go out for dinner?
He doesn't. He's fucking what's the guy from Goonies?
Sloth.
Sloth. He's like Sloth from Goonies at this point.
Hey, you guys.
The son was found with small wounds and sores all over his body. Pus leaked from the open sores.
It's so gross.
It is gross. The
I
mother
like
is
how that's the end of the paragraph.
the mother is suspected of illegal deprivation of liberty and causing bodily harm. Stockholm police spokesman Ola Osterling told the AFP the man is in the hospital. His injuries are not life-threatening. But how can he have a normal life after this episode, really? Just do him a service. Just hit him out of his misery, really.
Yeah, he'll be a productive homeless person, probably.
I mean, not in Sweden. They have programs to stop that sort of thing.
Okay. I see.
Yes. Okay, but this was a crazy story when I read it. I mean, I can't believe... Well, I mean, the thought that a woman would do this is shocking. The fact that no one could pick up on it is also equally shocking. I mean, I understand that neighbors aren't the same as they used to be. Neighbors used to pop in like, hey, how you doing, buddy? But, god damn.
Well, I'm surprised that it's during a pandemic when you're not supposed to visit people that they found him.
That's a good point. The pandemic saved him. I don't know why.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. But that's just... It's just flabbergasting that could go on for that long. It's just... unbelievable. But
I mean, it never told us if the guy actually enjoyed it.
Oh my god. Don't you put that image in my head, now I'm like fucking thinking of it as like some sort of fetish. It's disturbing.
Come on, Mom, more pus.
Oh
more
my
pustules,
god,
please.
don't do that. Jesus, you're a sick mind, I'll say that. I can't believe this podcast started with your daughter entering the room.
More feces in the corner, Mom. More feces in the corner.
God damn you. Moving on.
Okay.
All right, so this next story comes from My Modern Met. Once again, a publication I know fucking nothing about, but I'll take it for its word. Singer Akon. Do you know Akon?
I don't know an Akon.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I must be too old. I don't know.
He's actually an old singer. We could talk about that because I don't get in with new music these days. But Akon, the musician, is spending $6 billion to build a real-life Wakanda in Senegal. Okay, recording artist Akon has big plans for an upcoming smart city in Senegal. The new $6 billion development is called Akon City. Well, that's not just a fucking temple to his own ego. And will fulfill the star's wish to provide a refuge for members of the African diaspora, both near and far. In addition to the 2,000-acre resorts and condos and stadium, the metropolis is also planned to be run on renewable energy and mainly use Akon.
Can we say that again? Akon?
Akon, the singer's own.
Oh god, this is a cult.
It's not a cult. It's not a cult.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! It's not a cult.
It's not a cult. Akon. It's a cryptocurrency. Everyone's coming up with their own fucking currency these days. Fuck it.
It doesn't matter. I mean, he named it after. Okay, the place is named after him. His money's named after him. I'm sure he'll be on the face of the money.
Well, okay.
Why wouldn't you be, right?
Why wouldn't you be? Well, no, it's a cryptocurrency. There wouldn't be actually any hard currency.
There's going to be a logo for it. You tell me there's not a logo for cryptocurrency?
Fair enough. After 2 years of planning and developing, Akon has announced that they will start breaking ground in 2021. Akon believes that Africa, and his home of Senegal especially, is long overdue for economic investment. He is calling the forthcoming locale a real-life Wakanda, and the plans for it include a tech hub and Senewood to develop... Senewood? I don't know what that is.
It's like Hollywood. It's got to be like...
Oh, it is. An African film industry. Okay. So... There's a couple things to dissect here.
First, can we dissect why is it a Wakanda? I mean, like, I guess I
have you seen Black Panther?
It's a city full of black people in Africa. Yeah, I mean, like,
it's not a real city.
I know it's not a real city.
Well, it's a metropolis in Africa, which, I mean, as far as I know, what is the biggest city in Africa? Other than North Africa, not like sub-Saharan Africa. What's the biggest city?
Why do you realize Africa is it's more westernized than National Geographic will.
Well, it's becoming more westernized, but it's still largely third world. Biggest sub-Saharan city.
Yeah.
I'm going to look this up. It's probably Johannesburg.
By the way, have you ever seen any
Lagos
poorly shot African movies? Super funny.
The only African movie that jumps to mind is The Gods Must Be Crazy. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, no. This is new stuff they're making right now. It's all CGI'd from like someone's home computer. It's hilarious stuff.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's like kind of ridiculous, like Bollywood shit, right? Like,
Yeah, it's worse than that.
it's worse than that.
Oh god, you couldn't believe it.
The physics in Bollywood action movies are amazing. They don't give a damn. I love it. I've seen this one video. Off the top, the guy shoots himself out of a cannon and like has a machine gun and shoots down at people, and then like I don't know what happens. It's just ridiculous shit that I enjoy watching because it's over the top. It's a whole country of 1 billion people producing B movies nonstop.
Yeah, well, I think I'm finding one right here on YouTube.
Send me the link. I'm gonna watch it. We might also have to get to a point where we need to take a break in this podcast because I need to refresh my drink.
Oh, you're so lucky. I have no drinks at my house.
That's okay. I've seen what you've done with your whole health thing. Fuck it. It's working well for you, but like it's the holidays. I'm going all out.
Yeah, I was for a while there.
Made you feel sick, didn't it?
No.
Oh, really?
I
I got the feeling that I was just like destroying my body, and I had to wake up every morning with heartburn. It was terrible. But anyways,
I have the heartburn. Yeah.
Yeah. Quick little intermission. We'll be back in 30 seconds or so.
All right. Check your chat, dude.
And we're back. I'll have to edit that part out. Well, what'd you do?
Just check the chat because I found one that was just amazing.
Hilarious action movies, African action movies. Oh, it's blocked. Wait, no.
Where were you broadcasting from the inside of a university or something?
Is it that bad? Funny Ugandan action movies. Jesus Christ. I'm going to send you a video after this is done, but it's a funny Ugandan interview. But have you ever seen the meme, "Why are you gay?"
Yes.
Okay, that whole interview, like I watched that whole interview from beginning to end. It's the most fucking hilarious thing. It's so ridiculous, but I'll watch this.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Oh, that's loud. Sorry. I gotta turn the volume down if we're gonna watch that. All right. Hold up. Okay. We're seeing a lot of machine guns.
The man is killing us, man.
Terrible sound editing. The accents are amazing. You can't hear what I'm hearing. It's really loud here, though. What the hell? That's like PS1 graphics. Oh my god. Commando! They both. Oh my god, so they were throwing grenades at each other and it was clearly just a mirrored image of each other. Okay, you know what? Okay. Alright, okay. We got the basic idea of that. That was amazing. That was some of the best 40 seconds of my life.
How do you like the guy's like head in the helicopter?
You know what? CG is overrated. They overuse it in most movies. That is CG used right.
I think so. It's CG used for humor.
I don't think they think of it that way, though.
So what is that drink of choice you have right there?
This is a Cuba Libre. It's just basically a rum and dye with lime. I call it a Cuba Libre because it makes it sound fancy. All right, but back to the main story. Akon, this massive construction undertaking is geared towards stimulating the local economy and creating jobs for local workers. Many have praised this and are excited for the prospects of Akon City. But there are also some skeptics. Papa Masama Thiawa, a counselor and president of the Youth Commission for... Oh, fuck this. I'm not going to get this word.
I'm not going to try it either.
Nugunian? Fuck it.
Something like that, yeah.
Share that through many community members are optimistic. There's a lot of uncertainty. The studies that were done were not in collaboration with the commune of... God damn you. Senegal City. I'm going to call it that. He says he also fears that jobs won't be equally distributed. I don't want us to just be day laborers. We want to be among the managers. Do you think that could be a problem in Akon City? That a lot of the managerial...
Everything could be a problem in Akon City.
Do you think that a lot of the white-collar jobs in Akon City are going to go to outsiders? This is not going to boost the local economy. They're all just going to be two classes of people. Akon's people and the regular Senegalese people.
Well, you gotta understand the guy is spending $6 billion. if you're spending $6 billion, are you going to hire your like Susie Homemaker to run one of the hotels?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but
this is a thing that's been brewing for a while, though, because he proposed this back in 2018. It's a big part, and I just looked this up. I didn't even know the guy. Okay, for the record, I barely knew who he was. He was a R&B guy who was kind of big in the later part of the 2000s, before 2010.
Is he from Senegal?
No, he's American, but he spent. It's not that bad.
It gets worse.
It's not that bad. Okay, so he did grow up in Senegal. And his father is Senegalese.
Okay,
but he was born in America, so he's American. So
it's. I mean, how is this any different from any other person from a wealthy nation going building something in another country, and it's almost colonization, honestly.
It's different because it's from someone who claims to be Senegalese, and
it's not any different.
It's a little different because the pictures look cool.
I mean, are you going to say that all those white people in South Africa were not part of a attempt to colonize? I mean, just because they're the ones that are there now were born there?
No, I'm going to say that the people in South Africa are fucked and they better get out. No. I don't know enough about the whole Rhodesia was the former British colony. I don't know enough about it to comment on it. Really. I just know that the current situation in South Africa is everyone's fucked. You better get out if you can.
I don't know either. But
all right.
This doesn't seem much different than any other colonization.
Okay, but that was the main contention from Papa Masama. That's not a joke. That's his name. That was the main contention. He was worried that most of the jobs are going to go towards like outsiders and not necessarily the people of Senegal.
Yeah.
That's a usual contentious point for people whenever there's a big economic development. Are you just going to bring in outsiders to do all the basic white-collar jobs, all the ones that you could be giving to the people of the community to boost up their lives, or are you just going to use them as labor, cheap labor, and then fuck it, give it into tourists from all around the world so you can make money?
It's clearly the second one.
I agree. I think so too. But in Akon's mind, it's not that.
Well, the rich get rich, the poor stay poor. I mean, how is it ever any different? This guy would have to, I guess if it's going to be a real Wakanda, then that can't play that way. But.
All right, confession time. I never watched Black Panther.
I did.
Is it good?
Sure. But I don't like superhero movies that much. I think they're all stupid. I mean, it's good in the realm of stupid.
Oh, come on. You hate superhero movies, like all of them?
The ones, okay, I can name on one hand the one I like.
Dark Knight?
Was that the one with Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. That one and the first of the Iron Man.
That one's good too.
That's it.
I was having that conversation with my wife earlier. On Christmas. It might have been on Christmas. We were counting all the Marvel movies we actually liked, and she said she listed Black Panther as one of the ones she didn't like. But that was only because she said she was falling asleep while she was watching it. She didn't know if it was good or not. She was just tired.
I actually know, and I fell asleep during that movie.
Really? Is it?
To be honest.
Okay, that's two not so glowing recommendations.
Well, I also fell asleep during Wonder Woman, and I think, the Avengers. Most of Thor.
Well, okay, the thing with Thor, I'll tell you this: the first third of that movie I like, and then it gets really boring after that.
And the only other, I don't know if it's Marvel, but superhero-ish movie would be Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's Marvel.
Which I thought was just funny.
Legitimately
funny.
It's hard to call that a superhero movie. There's no one with powers.
Yeah, there are.
No, well, I mean, who?
Oh, I mean, the tree that can walk. I mean, come on, you have
a walking, powers. It's just it's imagining that plants basically have sentience. It's not powers.
What about the guy that looked all scarred up and had super strength?
He wasn't super strong. He was a good assassin, but nevertheless, the only one who may have powers is the villain in that movie. But either way, that's a good movie. But that's a Marvel movie, and it's not. I agree with you that I like Iron Man. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, both the first one and the second one. And there's a big drop off after that for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the movies, but I'm not that into it that I have to watch every single Marvel movie that comes out. But I do have to visit every city that Akon builds. I will visit this if it ever get the chance.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures, the renderings of like what the city could look like. It just looks like a bunch of melted like gum, or
I was thinking like, hey, why do you want to have these traditional buildings? These things look pretty cool to me. That's fucking like, if you're gonna,
they're cool, but can you imagine building this? I mean,
I don't care.
I know where the $6 billion's going. Like, like all these strange angles and like things that no one can manufacture outside. You know,
it's like the Seattle Art Museum.
Basically, yeah.
Well, I mean, sorry that it doesn't conform to your traditional concept of skyscrapers, but I think they look fucking cool. They look like a city of the future to me.
Yeah, they look cool, but what's the use? And I'm a big guy, like,
practicality.
Well, it has to have function.
It doesn't function well. There's a lot of gaping holes in these buildings. A lot of empty space. If you look at them, there's a lot of empty space.
Right, yeah. I'm seeing like giant, like 10-story vaulted ceilings and stuff.
Fucking looks like a lava lamp, really.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This one, I see one looks like a shoehorn, for God's sake.
Well, kudos to... Okay, so Akon is not the only major musician who wants to create his own city. Did you hear the story about how Kanye West is building his own city?
From rock and roll?
You know who Kanye West is.
I know, but there's also that song lyric.
What? I don't know
We built this city on rock and roll.
Except he's rap.
I know Kanye West is rap.
Okay, he's building a whole city that's going to run on water. That's one thing he said it has to be 100% hydro. And he's going to build a giant temple. And a university. It's going to be a university/temple. And a stadium where people are going to be filled with singers. They're all going to sing.
And what's the point? Where is he going to build this city? What giant piece of real estate did he buy?
I think he bought it in Utah.
Oh God.
Well, he's like super Christian, by the way. He's just like, he wants to build this like I don't know what you would call it. He wants to build like a university, a university town, with a temple.
The temple's very important to him. I see.
I don't know. He's very spiritual. I only know this because I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he went all in depth about it. But being Kanye is sort of a crazy person. He kind of explained it in about 50 steps, and I didn't follow I followed the first 2 steps, and then he went on a tangent where I just couldn't follow what he was talking about.
He's gonna get all this water in Utah from where?
Colorado.
Well, okay. Of course.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about the waterways in Utah.
That's a lot of water rights there.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, we're going to move on to our last story of the night. From the New York Post, bodybuilder may spend holidays alone after his sex doll wife is broken. Oh, my God.
It can only be broken in 2 places, right? Oh, I'm sorry, 3.
Is this now? When I read that headline, is this like a sex doll, like a blow-up doll, or has he actually got like one of those like functioning sex robots?
Well, that's a good question. So, all Yuri Taloka wanted for Christmas was some romance amid jingle bells and his sex doll bride. But alas, dear Margot has apparently broken down, possibly spoiling the couple's Yuletide plans, according to the Daily Star.
I love how they take it so seriously, though.
I know. Now, I like that she's being repaired later on in the story.
Aww. It has a happy ending.
Yeah,
the cookie bodybuilder.
This guy's life has a happy ending.
The cookie bodybuilder from Kazakhstan who tied the knot with a rubber doll after an 8-month courtship. Why are you courting a rubber doll? That's just a bit of a weird... Okay, I could appreciate someone's own little like sexual kink, but like the potential of being rejected by your sex doll. That's the courtship.
Did you see the picture of him holding this doll?
It was beautiful. It was a very sensual picture. It's very romantic.
It's just freaky.
Oh my God, she's got pink hair too.
It says Taloco said he met Margot at a nightclub.
No, come on. Come on.
Okay, what are guys doing with a sex doll at a nightclub other than a giant gangbang?
Who goes to a nightclub as a sex doll? Period. Like that's just such a weird thing to do. I don't agree. Oh my God. Toloco said he met Margot at a nightclub. Yep. And he rescued her from some unwanted attention, adding that they had planned to take the plunge in March. Okay. I just have to beg. This begs the question. Is he along with the joke, or is he really this crazy?
I don't know, but if you're looking at the 4th picture in the series that you can click.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He took her on a boat cruise.
He's on a boat.
He took her on a cruise.
This is definitely like some kind of ferry that he's on with normal people and a sex doll.
I can appreciate this as a guy who just like took a joke a little too far, because I love these kind of people who do that sort of stuff. He's got the first picture, he's in a bath with the doll, and the second one they're doing like calisthenics or yoga together. Oh my God.
A nice big.
There's something about the lifeless eyes of these dolls that just bothers me. How can anyone be turned on by this sort of stuff?
You think they should move and follow you and stuff?
No. I'm saying the closer it's, you ever heard of the uncanny valley?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the closer you get to reality, the closer, but like it's not quite real, and therefore there is why it gets really uncomfortable to be around it. This thing creeps me out looking at it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like that whole interview with Will Smith and the AI. Have you seen that?
Is that from iRobot?
No.
Oh, yeah, with the what's her name?
It's just that I don't know. It's a head.
Yeah,
basically.
the female robot. She's famous now. But yeah, like he tries telling her a joke, and she says like jokes are such a human concept.
Right.
And like he continues with the joke, and she doesn't laugh because she doesn't get jokes.
I mean, that whole uncanny valley with that doll. Oh, that's crazy.
I know. If you're gonna make robots, you got to make them really fucking look like robots. You can't make them look human-like. It's so creepy. And this sex doll for what's his name? Toloch.
Now, hang on.
Fucking
there's
Russian.
a second story here.
There's a second story?
Yeah, published November 30th. I think if you look on the left-hand side, there's more a more section.
Yeah.
It's called Kazakhstan bodybuilder marries sex doll after whirlwind romance.
That's the prequel to this story.
I think it is. The whole thing is like I don't get the whole dated for 8 months. I don't get this.
I don't get that either.
But he's actually at a wedding and people are there with him.
This is why I had to bring up this thing. It's like, is this a joke to him, or is he like genuinely this insane and people just went along with it? Because it could be. I could appreciate someone taking this joke this far. I really can.
Right.
I love that guy who does it that way. But part of me thinks that no, he fell in love with the sex doll.
But I think, well, okay, you'd think this would be like a story from The Onion.
No, reality is far worse than The Onion these days.
I mean, this reads really, really like straight.
Well, like I said, reality is far crazier than The Onion these days. So just The Onion has lost its market. It has.
Okay, well, here we go. This might explain some of it here. I'm going to read you this section. He told the Daily Star that the wedding was delayed after he was attacked during a transgender rally in the Kazakh city of Almaty on October 31st, where he suffered a concussion and a broken nose. Dressing as a woman for the event.
Okay, there's so many questions that arise from that.
Toloco, who identifies as a pansexual, told the Daily Star that our story turns me on much more than sex itself. He added that he also enjoys BDSM, bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism. I love being tortured.
Oh, he loves being the sub in that relationship with the sex doll. Fucking hell. How does that work?
Well,
How
listen,
sophisticated are these sex dolls?
Yeah, but the last paragraph here kind of explains like how he could even do this. The only requirement for a wedding to take place in Kazakhstan are that both consenting partners, well, that's a big word, consenting, isn't it?
Sex dolls can't consent.
Yeah, male, female, over 18, and with no mention of whether dolls are included.
Jesus Christ. You know, if this guy's got a Twitter, I don't even have Twitter. I want to follow him. I really do. This guy's my hero at this point. I don't fucking know why. He's just so fucking crazy.
I think because his wife is so hot.
No! This is so disturbing. I mean, what is your thoughts on sex, like, not sex dolls. Let's talk about the actual, like, because sex dolls have been around for a while. Let's talk about sex robots for a second. What's your overall thoughts on the sex robots? Because I gave you my thoughts on sex robots a while ago.
I'm not remembering your thoughts.
That, like, we talked about this, like, there is not going to be, like, the Terminator. The Terminator is a myth. Terminator is a joke. It's a good movie, but we would see it coming.
Yeah.
The real human extinction towards robots taking over the revolution, it's going to be they're going to breed us out of existence. So many young men who do not want to get in the dating game are just going to buy sex robots, and they're going to fuck the sex robots, and they're never going to reproduce. So they're going to breed us out of existence.
I thought your other theory was about like guys that play too much video games, like women turn to women, So
that is also that's my theory. Is exactly men are going to turn to sex.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. Those you actually perfectly stated it. Men are going to turn to sex robots. Women are going to turn to lesbianism, and that's just the future that we look at. That's what it's going to be.
Just too boring. It'll never happen.
It's going to fucking happen, man.
Too many guys like me are bored with that whole idea.
I think that there's going to be like, the concept of hypergamy. There's going to be a select group of very virile, very ambitious men who are going to get all the women. But most women are going to settle for sex bots.
Well, I'll tell you what, they do a better job for women than men do.
A better job for women than men do?
We said most women are going to turn to sex bots. Okay, they're going to be sex bots.
No. Okay, so like I said, so there's going to be a select group of like 10% of the men who are super superior at getting women. They're going to get 90% of the women, right? But that can't be a long, sustainable system. So many of those women are going to turn to lesbianism because the rest of the men are going to go to sex bots.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes.
I don't know. Do I think it's bad? I can't say one way or the other. I mean, honestly, I'm already married, so who cares?
That's how I feel about this sort of thing too. But at the same time, I weep for the future because I think that I genuinely do believe that is the future that we're heading towards.
Hey, less kids, maybe sex bots are good for the environment.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that. Sex bots are certainly not good for humanity, and this fucking Kazakh guy proves it.
Why not? I mean, look at him; he's happy.
Because he could still fucking have to court a sex bot. That's the fucked up part.
Oh yeah, the whole 8-month relationship before they got married is pretty weird.
How bad is it gonna be when we have to actually compete for the sex bots? It's.
I like the idea that you can break your wife and then just get her repaired.
Oh my god.
You think this guy was slapping her around? You see this guy? He's pretty big.
They build these things like a fucking Toyota. They're indestructible.
He's a bodybuilder. I mean, I
don't know.
She got out of line one night. He smacks her around, takes her to the repair shop.
They
go to jail.
They got show muscles. They're fucking not as strong as some of the power lifters. They're strong guys. I'm not gonna take that away with them. If I met Arnold Schwarzenegger, even now, he'd fuck me up. But they're not the same as power lifters. They're not gonna destroy these sex bots. They're gonna be fine.
Did you see that video where Schwarzenegger gets drop kicked in a gymnasium?
No.
By a fan. This happened 6 months ago.
Okay, but the guy's 70 years old. How's that a fair fight?
I don't know. Well, cause he didn't go down. He flew forward a bit, but never lost his footing.
Do you think that Bruce Lee in his prime could have beat Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because Bruce Lee was a small guy, but he was trained. Right. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a big guy. So it comes.
Schwarzenegger's not as big as you think. I think he's not even. I don't know if he even cracks 6 foot.
I think he does.
You should look that up.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Arnold Schwarzenegger height. Oh, here it is. He's 6'2".
Oh, okay.
So he's a big guy. He's not Dolph Lundgren.
What's Dolph Lundgren?
Dolph Lundgren, from Rocky IV?
I said, what's Dolph Lundgren? Not
he's 6'6".
Okay, there we go.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Well, I only know Dolph Lundgren because he's also the guy's like a superhuman. He was like a chemical engineer, and he studied at Washington State University. This is important to me because he actually went to WSU.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think
this.
he went to some German school before then, but like he actually studied in America, and he studied at WSU. He got a bachelor's in chemical engineering, and he's fluent in like 5 languages. He's like Hitler's wet dream.
Alex Dolph Lundgren. Maybe he's like one of Hitler's last experiments.
Dolph Lundgren. How old is he?
He's got to be in his 70s too.
Oh, dude. Oh, years active. What the hell does that mean? No, age 63. He's not.
Oh.
He's not that old. So no, he was born after Adolf Hitler was supposedly died.
So don't say supposedly.
Supposedly. Argentina, man. I swear to God.
Too many conspiracy theories.
I swear to God. Argentina. You should go there. It's fucking Germany down there. All right. Anyways, I don't have much more to add. I've covered everything I wanted to talk about tonight. What about you?
Oh, no, I just I was roped into this.
Right. Okay, so once again,
I've got nothing.
to reiterate, Tina is I almost went too far. Tina is unreliable.
I see.
So he can tell you we're going to do a podcast and he'll bail at the last minute and you got to kind of scramble to salvage the night. So thank you very much for showing up, Phyllis.
I've been a substitute in the past.
That's great. You can always be the substitute.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds A-okay. It's
Yeah,
great.
you're the second fiddle. Congratulations.
I know. It's okay. It's like my house. Whatever.
What about your house? What are you talking about?
Yeah, second most important person all the time.
Your house?
Sure.
What? I'm a little confused by that. What do you mean your house is the second most important person to you? What do you mean?
In my house. I married my house, Jed.
Wait. I'm so lost by that. So who's the most important person in your house?
The wife.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
That's marriage for you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm impressed that you give yourself second credit because doesn't the kids like life revolves around kids?
No, sometimes we lose them in the mall.
Well,
don't get them back to the
they're
next
both
day.
pretty young, but once they really get into the extracurriculars, your whole life is about scrambling to get them to the clubs and classes, right?
No, they're allowed to. No, you gotta. I'm sorry, but you gotta nail that in the butt, like right at the beginning of like your child's, their first ambition. You say, you can like that, but I'll be in charge of it. So, if they want to go to 5 clubs a year, no, I'm sorry, you're going to 1.
Oh, you got to pin them down to one thing. Why not the? So you actually don't agree with the idea of broaden the horizon. Like they sort of venture out to multiple different
Sure.
interests.
As long as they can get themselves there.
Okay, so once they sort of like what's the analogy, like spinning plates? You can't keep so many spinning plates up at once. Right. You have to focus on one. So you kind of guide them towards not necessarily their interest, but their aptitude.
Listen, if you take a kid to a candy store and say get whatever you want, but it has to be one thing, they're going to be there for an hour choosing.
Yeah.
If you tell them like you have 5 minutes to get what you want, they're there for 5 minutes. Like you gotta do the same thing in life. Like pick a sport that you like the most, and if that's the one you like, we'll do that one. But you can't do more than one.
Okay. That doesn't work with Tina though, because like sometimes we're in the snack aisle for like almost like 20 minutes while he picks out his snack for the movie we're gonna watch that night. It's ridiculous.
Screw that.
I know, it pisses me off.
Nah, that's when you start the car up and leave.
I'm not a dick. I wouldn't do that to him. All right.
It's not being a dick. It's just training somebody.
You can't train adults. They're set in their ways. No, you got to get them early. All right. Anyways, that's all I got. So for Tina,
that's all I got.
Yeah, for Tina and Karen, do the tube. I am Karen.
I am Phyllis.
All right. Stay safe, everyone, and stay hydrated. We love you.
Don't drink.